Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jared, and hey, I host a daily live podcast, even on the weekends, where we discuss news and politics. And I'm a socialist, so I just want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. And also, because people are asking which kind of socialist are you? I'm an educated socialist. So the difference between me and everyone else is that if the Democrats and Republicans can literally have no fucking visible platform, then I, as the head of the party, the founder, somebody who is deciding upon what foundation is this party built. Oh, that's pretty easy. It's easy to explain socialism as an economic principle. It's the government's job to use your tax money to help you, the citizen, become as proficient in any vocation that you should ever want to do, so that you could get like a unionized, high paying job and provide. And also promotes the social ownership of business. And in modern language, that just means like the socialism is the SBA. Like socialism as a construct, like they just want people to be proficient enough at jobs to strike out and start their own businesses, as opposed to like the proto-capitalist, pro-corporate world we live in now. Okay, so think about that. Like, hey, that's a great political platform. I want you to be so adept as a human that you can do that for yourself and own your own business and make oodles. Okay. So I just want to get on here and like take a couple minutes and just explain, like, I'm not a market capitalist. There's like 17 different flavors of capitalism, socialism. And as far as like capitalism, because people are like, oh, you live in a capitalist society, like, how are you a socialist? And I'm like, well, it's a choice, right? So I choose to do as much business as I can, ethically and locally. As much business as I can, ethically and locally. And that even comes down to my employment. Like what I do for a living, I'm a certified debt specialist. So my job is to help you get away from them credit cards in a reasonable amount of time, right? And to give you an example, my best friend went through the program. He had like 50K in debt. He was paying like $1,700 a month for all $50,000 of his unsecured debt. He went through the program. His debt went from $54,000 to $21,000. That's what he will end up paying. And instead of paying $1,700, which is like a fucking mortgage, he only pays like $400 for that. That's what I do for a living. That ought to put money in your pocket, allow you to save, especially for emergencies. I talk to people about their finances all day. It's fascinating. You learn how much worse people off are than you, and you're fucked, right? So, as I sit here and we talk about socialism and what I do for a living, and how we either have to raise $1,000 or spend $5,000, I think, to technically financially qualify to become a political party in the United States. So if you ever wondered why people don't start political parties, it's because you have to start out fundraising without FEC charter. There, I laid it out. And people are just like, I'll just give money to the Democrats then. And I break from the Democrats on a quarter of their issues. For example, were I ever to be president, let's say we're still fucking allies with Israel and I get into office, and Israel's fucking attacking neighboring countries and like committing a genocide and trying to expand their fucking... I'm not about that life. Sorry. Our guns are no longer for sale. Run out. See how that works? Ever come to the United States and I'm handing you over the ICC? You see how that works? You see how I don't have friends internationally that I'm willing to sacrifice other people for? Yeah, I got no one on earth. No one on earth. Not even my wife. My wife would tell you, like, take me, save all these people. You know, when they always give you, like, they always give you the impossible choice. And they're like, there's a train coming. It can only go on 1 of 2 tracks. One, it's headed straight for your life and your house. It's like, okay, your wife and your house. And you're like, okay, what's on the other track? And they're like, hundreds of people. And I'm like, I take the house. The wife has to go too. What a shitty choice. But I'd rather sacrifice a small amount, you know, and the greater good live on, right? It's kind of the opposite approach to the Republican Party, where they're stupid and they think everyone's fucking trans that doesn't vote for them. That's, again, that sounded horrible coming out, but it's like, that's how the Republicans think. Remember Jesse Waters, before the election, he said, if you're a man and you vote for Kamala Harris, you're a woman. As though entering an election booth somehow, I'm a human being, and biology was one of the harder subjects growing up. But like, how do I change sexes in a voting booth? Jesse Waters said that shit, and that motherfucker's still on TV. So when you wonder why mainstream media is not being fucking watched anymore, right? Donald Trump signed a law banning transgender people from high school and fucking college sports. 45. That's how many people there are in the United States that play organized sports and are trans. That's high school and college. There's not even 50 fucking people that he wasted his signature on a bill to harm. Aren't they going through enough? So yeah, when you ask me, like, some people have reached out and they're like, you should run for public office. Okay, well, I've never held public office. And so I feel like what we need is we need a new political party. I'm already in the process of founding that. I want to sell t-shirts and stickers. You know what I mean? That's who I am. That's the actual person. I'm the guy out there at the booth selling stickers and t-shirts. That's just how I've worked security at small music festivals, at beer festivals, you know what I mean? Like, you want to grow a political party? One person behind a booth, American Socialist Party, that can spit the same level of game I got. The foundation of the American Socialist Party is a focus on turning out proficient humans, like Americans, that are so good at a vocation that you could strike out on your own and run a business. That's socialism. The government and your tax money is responsible to create proficient people that are going to replace you as you age. And you're going to have to teach them what you know, right? So that's the foundation of socialism, right? As Americans, we owe it to each other to pull each other up, right? So get that whole pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's stupid. You literally cannot physically do that. Think about it. Take your hands, right? Put on a shoe. Put your hands on your shoelaces. Now stand up. It's impossible. You're going to rip your fucking shoelaces out. Either that or you're going to pull yourself on the ground. You're probably going to pull a muscle. Imagine pulling a fucking hammy trying to do the impossible. Like, that's just fruitless. So, I want to make this video today because people are it's like drinking from the fire hose constantly, right? Especially now, I like welcomed it in the fact that, we sat around, we looked at like the decisions that the past administration made, and then we knew what this current administration was going to do because we're capable of reading. And so we read Project 2025 and we knew all of these things were going to happen. And here's my question. How far into Project 2025 do they get before what they do is so severe that somebody steps in? A lot of people are saying NATO. I've been saying Article 5 forever. Please, dear God, help us.